Hi, everybody. Brooke Berry, the Director of Communications and Marketing for the City of Indio, and it is Monday, August 30th. We're just a couple days away from National Preparedness Month. It's been a while since we've done an Introducing Indio, and thanks so much for waiting patiently for us to begin. We've got a great asset in the City of Indio here to take part in today's live broadcast to Facebook, so I'm excited to introduce you to him. It is Dennis Day. He is our Emergency Operations Center Manager. Hi, Dennis.
Good afternoon, Brooke. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much. It worked out well to introduce you, not only because you are officially a member of the City of Indio team, but in a couple of days, September is National Preparedness Month. Dennis, maybe you can give the folks who are watching live on the City of Indio's Facebook page a little bit of information about why I'm saying you're now officially part of the City of Indio, because you've actually been around for a little while.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I was a contract employee. I was with the County of Riverside, and the city went a different direction and hired a full-time emergency operations center manager. I was fortunate to be selected during the hiring process, and I am officially a team member of Team Indio. And so I've been with the city for about 3 years now, and I became an official city employee in the first week of July. So very excited to be a part of that.
You and I talked a little bit before about National Preparedness Month. Last year in 2020 was a time I think that we considered that as somewhat of an emergency, and people were getting prepared when previously we had thought that in Indio, being prepared for an emergency probably meant getting your earthquake preparedness kit handy. There are certainly some similarities, but what are some things that you saw the need for over the last year that might not have gone in a regular preparedness kit?
Yeah, we've definitely seen a need and an increase of mask wearing. And so we saw national shortages of masks. And we saw a lot of individuals become very unique in their abilities to turn household items like old tablecloths or bandanas into very useful decorative face masks. And so just the ability to have something as simple as a mask readily and available to you. But you don't have to go out and purchase a mask. You could have a bandana. You could have anything that could be made in a hasty, quick effort to be able to cover your airways to give you a clean breathing mechanism during an emergency, whether it was an earthquake or a pandemic. So
exactly. We've seen even firefighters and paramedics using masks. This is not something new to them, too, as they try and keep out particulates or other harmful matter.
Right.
You've got some there, too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Got to have your all in Indio mask. That's right.
So we want to say hello to all the folks that are watching us on Facebook and on YouTube, and remind you here that part of why we're doing this in a live format is so that you can ask questions of Dennis. If you want to know what are some of those items you should have in your kit. Dennis, you have some incredible information that's available on the Emergency Operations Center web page on the City of Indio's website. And I learned quite a few things by taking a look at those pamphlets, in particular with keeping your fridge full. It's something that I'd never thought of before, but actually the more stuffed your fridge is, the longer the food inside will last in case of a power outage.
Yeah, absolutely. The volume and the cold, the temperature of the items that are in there, as long as that refrigerator door stays closed as much as possible, the temperature of your refrigerator will maintain that safer temperature. Another great tip that I always like to tell people is take a couple of those old water bottles that you use that you would normally throw into your recycle bin, fill them up with water, put them in your freezer, put them down in the bottom section of your freezer. And if we ever do have a power outage, we could take a couple of those frozen bottles out. We can leave some in the freezer, put a couple into the refrigerator, close the refrigerator door, only go in there when it's absolutely necessary. That will help maintain and preserve the items that you do have in your refrigerator. It's a cheap, easy, great little tip to help you preserve what you've spent your hard-earned money on and keep those items in your refrigerator last a little bit longer.
If you've got questions for Dennis, please go ahead and leave them in the comments below. We can bring them up on the screen and we can talk to Dennis about them. Dennis, as we go into the month of September, the city of Indio is going all in on emergency preparedness, and you are hosting in conjunction with the Community Development Department, a series of different events throughout the city of Indio every Wednesday in September. Where are they and what can people expect if they attend?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited. This is actually the 20th anniversary of not only 9/11, but National Preparedness Month. National Preparedness Month is a collaborative effort to get everybody nationwide to think and prepare themselves, their households, their family, to start putting together a plan to address what they would do before, during, and after an emergency. And what we wanted to do here in Indio is we want to go out to the public. We want to work with our local businesses. And we're going to go out every Wednesday, like you were saying, from 10 a.m. till noon. We're going to set up a table. Myself and my partner, Juan, he's going to be talking about the emergency preparedness equipment giveaways. I'm going to be setting out a booth and passing out materials, a supply list, and then answering questions to people on what they could do for their own individual family needs. So starting each Wednesday, we're going to be at Walmart. We're going to be at Home Depot. We're going to be at the Tractor Supply. We're going to be at Dollar General, and then we're going to be at Yellow Mart. You can see the flyer. It's available on the city website. It's being shared on social media. We encourage you, if you're already out in the community and shopping, stop by, say hello, pick out some brochures that we're going to give away for free. Enter to have an ability to win a free deluxe emergency preparedness kit. We're going to have a lot of great materials, a lot of good information, and hopefully we'll be able to help one or two more families better prepare themselves during this month.
What a great way for folks to be able to get involved here. Oh, that's not what I wanted to share, was it? All right, let's try that again in just a second. But I'm glad everyone saw my email. That is absolutely what we're trying to do, is get everyone on board with ways that they can be prepared in case of an emergency. And really, when we talk about getting those supplies ready, if you're at any of those locations that we were just discussing, you certainly have the ability to get what you need right there. It's available to you without having to do a whole lot there. Oh, it does not want to let me do that. Let me try one more time. There we go. Here we go. So those are the events there, the emergency preparedness events. And Dennis, when you were talking with the folks at those locations, I mean, how on board were they with having something like this here?
Yeah, tremendous support from each of the store managers that I was able to sit down and meet with. They were very welcoming, and they identify and see the need for the message that we're putting out. And they are going to be setting up some different items, encouraging the items that we're promoting. So for an example, at the Tractor Supply Company, there's a huge need for pets. Before, during, and after an emergency. They have a lot of pet supplies, things that we do not maybe normally think of during an emergency. But if you have to evacuate very quickly, do you have a food dish to be able to feed your pets? Do you have a leash that you would be able to take them on a walk and walk them in a secure area if you end up at a shelter of some sort? A lot of these stores, the Dollar General recognizes that we could purchase small items, $1 and less, and slowly build up our kit. Flashlights, batteries, glow sticks, all kinds of alternative options for when the power goes out and we still need to be able to see and maneuver through our household. So each of the stores, each of the businesses have been tremendous in supporting our efforts and partnering with the Indio Emergency Operations Center and the message of emergency preparedness. So,
Dennis, you and I have talked a lot, but I don't know that I've ever asked you, how did you become so interested in emergency preparedness and emergency management?
I'll give you the short version, but when I was a young child, I really wanted to be a firefighter. And I served active duty in the United States Army. And when I got out of the Army, I initially started to apply and try to get onto a fire department. And I was successful. I got hired by Riverside County Fire. I was a 911 dispatcher. And you think, well, how does that apply to emergency management? It's actually helped me tremendous in telling people how to slow down and how to prepare themselves and their family, and not to be so uh, full of adrenaline during an emergency, how to calm down, think clearly, act decisively. And going to work for Cal Fire and kind of fulfilling my dream for a little bit and working on a fire engine and seeing people in their worst times during an emergency, and being able to help them was very fulfilling. And now to be able to continue to go down this path of helping families best prepare themselves and to build community relationships, getting neighbors to talk to neighbors, look out for each other. And the relationships that are developed in the community emergency response team training, where we see people in the same community who have never met that start to talk and engage, and then to hear success stories afterwards of how they've got teams set up in their neighborhood, and they know who works nights and who works during the day, and they're going to be able to check on each other and care for each other, and really epitomize what the CERT program is all about, which is neighbor helping neighbor. And so being able to do some of these programs and give back and see communities really grow and evolve and become more prepared and more resilient is really a fulfilling part of my job. So.
Well, thank you for your service, not just to the city, but to the county and also to our country. And we're asking now, we do have a comment from Ted Liz Facebook. Is the information providing in Spanish for individuals limited in English because some of the neighbors speak only Spanish? And Ted, I'm so glad that you asked that, because in fact, I'm going to stop sharing here for a second. I'm going to bring just Dennis and I back on, and I will actually show you that a lot of the information that is on our website right now is also available in Spanish. And you can perhaps answer a little bit more of that for Ted.
Yeah, I really appreciate the question. And yes, this is just a small example of what you're seeing here. We do have almost all of our brochures in both English and in Spanish. All of our press releases are both in English and Spanish. And recognizing that 2/3 of our population here in India is Spanish speaking, we really want to make sure that we have enough material and items for everybody. We also want to have CERT training is in Spanish that's available to the public. And so, yes, great question. And when you come out and you participate in any of these events this coming Wednesday and each Wednesday for the month of September, you will find a lot of our handouts, a lot of our brochures are in both English and in Spanish. So thank you for participating. Good question.
Yeah, that's great to know. And Ted, I hope that you do relay it to your neighbors as well. And one of the things that we're doing there to really encourage preparedness and make sure that people know that the city is constantly trying to communicate and is wanting to communicate with the residents, is that we put out a monthly digital newsletter called Indio Live. Dennis, you've written for it a couple of times too, and we're going to be having some additional information about emergency preparedness coming out in this issue. So I'm going to put the information there at the bottom of the screen. But Dennis, why don't you tell the folks who are watching, Ted and others, what's in it for them if they come to one of these events on a Wednesday, and once again, sign up for India Live?
Yeah. Every person that registers and enrolls for Indio Live is going to be entered automatically for a deluxe 2-person emergency preparedness kit. And these kits are really, really nice. We just got them in, and I was taking a look at them, and I'm not going to lie, I think I'm going to probably go out and make a purchase for my own household. That's how nice these kits are. But they're full of youthful. They have emergency drinking water. They have emergency food. They have some gloves. They have face masks. They have a really nice flashlight. They have a tool that if you were to have to shut off your gas, they have a gas shut off tool inside these kits. They are a great addition to any homeowner's emergency preparedness toolkit, and that is exactly what we want. We want this to go to a useful family that wants to add to their kit. And this bag that we're going to be giving away, we're going to give away 5 in total, one each week. So come on out and register for Indio Live. And not only will you be a part of informative information that the city shares regularly, but you also have a great opportunity to win this free kit and take home some much needed supplies.
If you're not able to get to one of those events, you can still sign up for Indio Live. But Dennis is going to want to meet you on Wednesday as well as one. And if you're just joining us now, reminder to everyone that if you come out there, you'll also have the opportunity to get some free PPE from the city of Indio. So if you own a business in Indio, you run a nonprofit, you need some disposable masks or gloves, they are available to you. Again, we want to thank everyone who's watching here on Facebook Live and also on the city's YouTube channel, and remind you that we're here with Dennis Day, Emergency Operations Center Manager for the city of Indio. And we're going to take a quick break, but we will be back in just a moment. All right, we are back once again. Dennis Day, Emergency Operations Center Manager here for the city of Indio. We're going to make this real big here and let everyone know about some of the events that are taking place in the month of September through the city of Indio in an effort to get everyone prepared in the case of a disaster or other emergency. Dennis, we talked about that neat graphic that we have prepared about what happens when the power goes out, and some of the same tenets for then are still applicable for if you're trying to put together an emergency preparedness kit. But there's so much more to being prepared for an emergency than a kit itself. You need to have a plan.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's really what we're trying to drive home this month. National Preparedness Month, again, the 20th anniversary. We really want family members to engage with one another. And I know that life gets super busy, but maybe the dinner table conversation of what will we do before, during, and after an emergency? Who's going to be responsible for picking up the children? Who is going to check on our family and our loved ones? Do we have people with access and functional needs that live within our household that we need to plan accordingly for? Wheelchairs, if we have medical needs, what are we going to do and how well are we prepared to respond to that? And what are we going to do when the lights go off or the ground starts shaking? We really want families and households to just start having those conversations. And what is that going to look like? It's different for every family and every individual, and we understand that. And so we want to share some tips and ideas. And if you've got questions and you weren't able to join this chat and you're going to be out in the city of Indio and you're shopping, please feel free to stop by on each Wednesday of every month. We're going to be out at a different business. And I'll go ahead and list them again. They're on the flyer, but we're going to be at Walmart. We're going to be at Home Depot. We're going to be at Dollar General. We're going to be at Tractor Supply Company. We're also going to be at Yellow Mart. And we're going to have a material. We're going to pass out brochures. We're going to pass out supply lists to give you ideas of what you can put in your kit at home. We also want you to maybe put a kit in your car. We spend a lot of time commuting to and from either work or places of worship, picking up kids from school, or just going to recreational activities. But we do spend a lot of time on the roadways. And if you're going to be trapped or in your vehicle for a long period of time, we want you to have some drinking water. We want you to have some snacks. We want you to have your emergency medications, something along those lines that you could better be prepared to recover from some sort of disaster, regardless of what it is.
Dennis, I think that these are really important and valuable lessons. I want to just share this before we go to. So this is our emergency supply checklist, going over some of these things that you can have on hand. And I put, for those who were asking, Ted again, talking about his vision, I put in our comments here the locations of all of the emergency preparedness events in the month of January, the addresses where they're going to be, and also about signing up for Indio Live. So we're looking at this emergency supply checklist. And Dennis, all of this is available right here on our website.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been updated and looked at routinely. and we try and make it all inclusive for everybody. And even on that supply list, you could see that there was glasses. We talk about water, all of these types of items, again, that are going to be really different to each individual that you're going to need, that's going to be a little more important to you. And so we really want you to personalize your kit. We really want you to make it what you need. I have young children at home, so my kit entails something that maybe somebody without children or young children are going to need in theirs. If you have pets, what do you have for food? What do you have for water? If you have children, teenage children, or older adolescent children, do you have something in your kit that could entertain them or occupy their time if you were going to be at a shelter for a couple of days? This example right here with the trash can shows you how to kind of layer your items. And there's a lot of great tips and information on a lot of the material that we share. We really encourage people to come by, take a brochure, ask some questions, and let's see if we can't help you improve your plan for your family.
I think this is great, Dennis. Thank you so much for taking the time. And for everyone who's watching this right now, it will live on our Facebook page. So if you know someone else who could use this information, please go ahead and share it with them. We're going to say goodbye for now. We have a special city council meeting that's starting at 3 o'clock. So you can stick around on our Facebook page and watch that. There will be a moment of silence for Corporal Hunter Lopez of Indio, who was killed in an attack at that airport in Kabul, Afghanistan, just a couple of days ago. Thank you all so much for watching. On behalf of the City of Indio, I'm Brooke Berry, the Director of Communications, along with Dennis Day, our Emergency Operations Center Manager. Thank you.